intro for the people and shit. You said you got some peanut on. I might as well fix me one more before I go, right?
Oh, I just finished that.
Matter of fact, I might need this one. I got a lot of shit to tell. Now I'm gonna see more of your torso now than anything. No, you ain't told, bro.
I never wanted to be. It always seemed like a hassle.
Shit, got a billion
You
head.
look at all of the you look at all of the clothes in the stores, the shoes, like everything always comes. That's the one thing I always hated because I'm not tall, but I wear fucking size 10, so that's always been trash as hell. Like I wish I had smaller feet because they be having some fire ass colorways, man.
You want the little people sneakers?
Yo, they be having the fire colorways, like the women's and the children's. They be having them shits in like
This nigga,
it's
this nigga,
crazy.
this nigga want baby feet. That's crazy.
坐得太耐屎忽都痛埋，係時候起身啦喂！
What's going on, everybody? Welcome
we
to
go.
another episode of The Casuals. It's your boy Reemo, aka Mr. Verzuz, aka Mr. AKA to the AKAs, to the AKAs. We got my man Ant McQueen is in the building. We gonna go.
Yes,
Go ahead,
sir.
Ant. Go ahead. Get it off. Get it off. The computers be puting. What else?
I only got one AKA right now, and it's for something that I'm prepping up. You know what I mean? My little loose change, the frugal flipper.
Ooh.
The frugal flipper.
And Mr.
Taking inexpensive things and giving them new life. Feel me?
The
Going
casual
out there
corner, casual
thrifting.
corner. The man
There
of
we
the
go.
casuals corner. You know? How your day been so far, Ant?
Fantastic. I can't complain whatsoever. It's been a pretty damn good day.
Mm-hmm.
Been chilling, vibing, relaxing. It's just a very, very easy, casual day. No pun intended.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I had a long day, man. I'm like, yo, we got to get the people what they want, man. First off, appreciate everybody for tapping into the first episode. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know that we was going to have a, you know what I mean, such synergy, but I think we hit the mark. I don't know. What you think?
I believe so. It just happens like that sometimes. And, this is not the first time it's happened. I got to send a big shout out to my guy, I and My Vibes. Because once upon a time, your boy was rapping about 10, 11 years ago. I was in a group called Altered Beast. And then one of the homies, we end up finding out that we had a lot of things in common, both of us being of Jamaican descent, both of our mothers being born in London and so on and so forth. And then we ended up forming a group within a group. You know what I mean? It's kind of similar. Same thing here where it's like, forming a group within a group.
Yeah, that's a
and
fact.
You hit it off, you got the chemistry, you got to just roll with it and just see where it goes, man.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Well, I guess the energy brought us here once again to the casuals. Once again, it's your boy Reemo. That's Ant McQueen. And over here we just have casual conversation about things, culture, sports, wherever might lend us. We'll go there. So let's jump right into it, man. August 3rd, it was a fire card that took place. Or you want to say Saudi card posted by Turkey, or the Bud Crawford card, whichever one you want to call it, but it was a lot that took place on that card, man. You wanna take the lead on this one? We go down the list of what took place over there.
I want to say first and foremost, they put together a terrific event. I had no idea that the thing was taking place in a stadium. I thought it was going to be in an arena. So that kind of changes things for me. There's this narrative surrounding Bud Crawford that he can't sell and so on and so forth. And I even saw people ridiculing him, saying, oh, the event didn't sell out. They had to give away free tickets. But it's difficult to pack a stadium. An arena has anywhere from 16 to 20,000 people. When you're talking about a stadium, you're talking of upwards of 50,000 in a
Talking
lot
like
of these.
talking Michael Jackson type shit.
Right. The
Yeah,
capacity is different. We talking about a different type of capacity where
absolutely.
even if you sell out half of a stadium, you still sold more than what you would sell in an arena
In the Garden,
because the capacity is so great. Yeah, the Garden holds only what, 19,000, something like that,
something to that effect.
which is nothing to sneeze at. Nothing to sneeze at all. But when
Mhm.
we talking about a stadium, even if you sold half of a stadium, you would still be selling more than what you would sell in an arena. So I just had to get that out the way first. And then the other thing I've been seeing with Bud Crawford as it pertains to him and
Mhm.
his commercial viability or his marketability, his ability to sell is that, you know, he hasn't sold this on pay-per-view. How many
Yeah,
pay-per-views has he been on? And then here's the other thing, the platform, that matters. The platform matters.
yeah,
That one-off that they had with BLK Prime. BLK
yeah.
Prime is a company
Mhm.
that's pretty much an upstart. They're in the embryonic stages of, you know, their respective career as a player in boxing. So they don't have the resources and the tools and everything that it takes to make a huge event, an event of that magnitude, pay
That
per
man
view.
to make the names and the audience match up to. Matter of fact, I'll take it one step further. As a casual fan, if you wasn't really a fan of one particular boxer, where the fuck would you have found BLK Prime? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like it was
Right.
in your face where you knew, oh, it's on this channel, or you can order it this way or that way. Like, so I think people got to take it easy and just be happy with the sport in itself. Like, they giving you what you asked for. You asked for competitive fights. You asked for good matchmaking. Things are not one lopsided, and the card basically gave you what you want. A lot of upsets because it was tough matchmaking. Whether people were ready or not, people were sold to what they were supposed to be or not supposed to be. But the night in itself gave you, as a random fan, excitement from start to end. It was a little long winded because it lasted a couple hours. You got performances out. You got a lot out of there at the same time. But I personally think it maximized what it was supposed to be.
1,000%. 1,000%. And then here's the other thing too. I want to go back to something that you touched on, man. The matchmaking.
Mm-hmm.
The matchmaking, the matchmaking, the matchmaking. If matches were made in this fashion more frequently,
Mm-hmm.
then there would be less upsets. The only reason why a lot of these matches, when they transpire the way that we don't expect, and we say that they're upsets, is because of the matchmaking.
Yeah.
But if certain things were revealed a little bit sooner, then we would just say like, okay, this is just for lack of better words, the natural order of things. Like you were saying a couple weeks ago in Philadelphia,
Yeah. Just give it to me
we want
now.
to find out. We want to find out what these guys are now.
Yeah,
We don't want to
absolutely.
see him once he's in there. You know, he's amassed a record of 40-0, and we still saying this guy hasn't fought anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You want to go from the top of the card down or the bottom of the card up?
We go from the bottom up.
Okay, so who we had first? The first.
I think it might have been Steven So-Called Nelson. I can't remember the name of his opponent.
Yeah, I didn't even see that one because for y'all that didn't know, I was in the Busta Rhymes concert, so I was on double duty. So I
Hey,
didn't even see that one right there.
how was the concert though?
The concert was kind of fire though. Yo, listen. First off, I was a little bit upset because they put Sierra as the main and gave Busta the opening slot. I so disagree with that. Busta's a legacy act. Missy's a legacy act. Entertaining, animated. Those two people right there. I know Sierra could dance and all that, but as far as crowd moving and knowing how to work with the crowd and all that, you don't get no better than Busta and Missy. So I mean, I was kind of jaded, New York dude, but overall it was good. I still got a chance to see some of the cards because I was doing double duty with the phone. I started with the Andy Cruz. I didn't even see the Morrell fight, but I heard who was after the first fight.
I can't even remember.
It was either Morrell or Andy, one of the two.
I can't remember. Now I'm over here drawing the blank.
So let's go.
And
Let's
then
go.
I'm also still dwelling on that damn Sierra
Yo, Sierra look
being
good.
the headliner, and I like Sierra.
Co-headliner. Co-headliner.
Go ahead,
Missy
Sierra.
was the main.
I mean you no disrespect whatsoever, Sierra. You're phenomenal. But Busta Rhymes got a catalog and a half, and that's the reason why I would probably have Sierra go first, because between Busta and Missy, in addition to all of the things that you mentioned, like their crowd control, like they are what true MCs are, masters of ceremony. Like they know how to move the crowd, control the crowd, get participation from the crowd.
Absolutely.
And a large part of that is also not just their talents, but also their catalog. Like Missy can rattle off hit after hit after hit. Same with Busta. Like Busta could do like Dangerous, and he could do Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See.
Yeah, we on the same page. We on the same page right
You know what I'm saying? Like he just got joint after joint after joint. And then even if you want to go through his feet, I ain't even say It's a Party with Janae, or Everything Remains Raw, or Woo-Ha, or
Mariah, you know what I'm saying? He got them all.
Yeah.
Got them
Pastor Cavassier.
Janet, like, you know what I mean?
What's gonna be with Janet? Like, yo, the man got hits. Same with Missy. She got hits. She got Super Duper Fly, Beat Me 911, Sock It To Me, Hot Boy, She's That Bitch, Pass That Dutch.
Ooh, go ahead, boy. Talking that shit.
Come on, man. So and I think Ciara is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I still feel like, even though she's a seasoned vet, there's levels to the vets.
She's not a legacy act in my book. That's all. Like, no, like you said, no disrespect to her, but it's a difference. Just a difference.
She got some classics though. She got some classics, but still, I still feel like with the other two.
Yeah.
You know how it is in the Hall of Fame. Some people say that there should be tiers to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because you got in the Hall of Fame that sit, like my guy last week. Mitch Richmond was my underappreciated athlete. Mitch Richmond, you ran off the stats. He did what? 9 straight years, averaging 20?
Yeah.
But he ain't Mike though.
Yeah. I get it.
That's why with Ciara, it's like, because Ciara got like Goodies and and
but
Cherish and a couple of other joints that's like fire, but it's like
she's still not one of those. Like,
she's one of those, but she not
that.
She Mitch Richmond, but she's not. She ain't Mike. She ain't Magic. She ain't Kareem.
Nah,
she's not
even Elijah one. So shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
let's get back to this boxing shit, man.
Back to the box.
So all right. So I don't know which one was next, but let's say Andy Cruz fight. All right, Andy Cruz he did what he was supposed to do. He fought who was that? Devin Haney's last knockout, the guy that he fought?
Antonio Moran. And ironically, Devin Haney's the only person to knock him out. And he's been in there with some damn good competition. This dude, Antonio Moran. He's been in there with Jose Pedraza. He's been in there with we already mentioned Devin Haney, Romero Duno, Jermaine Ortiz.
Yeah.
A couple of other guys.
It's crazy. The fact that, cats are just like laid next to one another to see who, like, comparison and contrasting, Andy Cruz is a little bit older. He ended up taking care of business by getting a stop out. I believe it was 7. And he's taking the fast track of his career. He was hurt a little bit, where he had the weather the storm, and it was kind of amazing to see he took that route. He took the opportunity at taking a tough fighter, and what's this, his 4th fight or something like that? 4th, 5th?
Yeah, it's Andy's 4th fight. The dude Antonio Moran was 36-1 coming into the fight, so this guy got 37 fights worth of experience. Yeah. And as I've alluded to prior, this dude has been in there with a lot of good fighters. Yeah, a lot of guys who have been champions, or they've been on the cusp of being champions. contenders.
And what we did say last week that you know, a lot of guys that was on this card, this was a chance for them to level themselves up to be in a conversation that needed. If it was gonna look good, or you know, like we say, get off the pot. And Andy
Yep.
kind of he took the moment to his advantage because I believe the ring got him top 10 so far right now because you know, they just put out something new, and I believe he cracked the top 10, and that performance right there kind of helped his stake and his claim of where he needs to go at a faster route than, you know, some of the younger kids, the Abdullahs, and you know, because he is a little older and a little further in his career, well, in his professional career now, but overall career and age trajectory. I guess he took the moment to, you know, his advantage. But somebody like Morrell, who actually won but didn't kind of get the same viewership as people. What you thought about that part?
I think with Morrell, he had some things working against him in this fight because he was actually moving up to 175.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was also fighting a dude who was very, very tough. And
So
trying to figure out how to word
why you
this.
say that? Is he the goods, or it's very early? Like, you know, sometimes people pass the eye test, but they haven't been tested. And when they've been tested, be like, yo, they still need more work. Is that kind of what you got from what took place?
Yeah, that's how I felt about Morrell.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt about Morrell because this is one of the first fights that we've seen him in where he wasn't able to completely overwhelm his opponent.
Yeah.
In fights prior, he was just bing, 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 just piecing dudes up, getting them the hell up out of there.
Yeah.
But he was in there with a dude who was durable and a guy who could box and a guy who could exploit some of his deficiencies. Because like Andy Morrell, David Morrell. But as we've seen, he's got good footwork. He moves well, but
Mm-hmm.
he's still a little bit easy to
Green.
locate because he keeps his
Yeah.
head like right on the center line. Like he's straight up and down. He don't really move his upper body too much. It's primarily with his feet.
Yeah. Well,
So
would you
Logic
attest
was able
that?
to hit a lot of
So
straights.
you were testing that to, you know what I'm saying, his experience, or just, you know, I don't know, like deficiencies in his game?
I would say more so a deficiency, but I don't think that it's something that he hasn't worked on or that he can't work on. I don't think that there are too many things that David Morrell can't do. At 175, you'd be hard pressed to find a better athlete than what he is.
Yeah.
He's one of them guys that he just got something that these other guys, it doesn't matter how hard they train, they just won't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just an athlete through and through. Like him, when you see Andy Cruz, like the way Andy Cruz moves, like, yeah, he's very skilled.
Yeah.
He's got good technical ability, but you could also tell that he's got just like a rhythm and athleticism, a quickness that a lot
Mm-hmm.
of guys just don't possess.
Yeah.
It's just something that you get through your genes, through God,
Heri-
whatever it is. It's innate.
Heritage. Some people got nice, quick feet. Some
Right.
people don't. Some people can't dance. Like, all that shit really be mattering sometimes.
Nah, it does. I mean, because all that other stuff you could work on, you know, because we do have the Tim Duncans of the world where it's like you could work
Fundamental.
on things, and,
Yeah.
yeah, and just
Big fundamentals.
adhere to the basics. But with
So let
David
me.
Morrell, that dude, he moves well, but it's just that's the one thing I got to see with him. It's like moving forward,
Yeah.
up a little bit more upper body movement, especially if he's gonna be at 175. Because at 168, like he was just getting guys up out of there. But at 175,
Guys are
it might
bigger.
not be the same.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. So once upon a time, they were lining him up with the David Benavidez, and they were using the word that I hate, the duck conversation and all that. Would you pull back on that conversation with bringing him next to David Benavidez right now? Is it too soon, or you know, or you want to
No,
go
I
with
don't
them?
believe so. I don't believe
Mhm.
so because I feel like they're kind of neck and neck in terms of experience. The only difference is it's a little bit reverse because David Benavidez, he didn't have as many amateur fights as
Yeah.
David Morrell. David Morrell, he's got an extensive amateur background, and I believe that's why they're putting him in these type of fights because he's another dude out of Cuba. He only got about 12 fights, and you got him in
Yeah.
there with a dude like Kalajic who was 29-2 coming into the fight.
I shout out to Turkey though. I like that they testing the young guys, they testing the veterans to see what they got left, and it's giving the fans what they want. Fans like me, like I say, just give it to me now, so I don't have to follow you for 30 fights to see that you ain't it. You put him in there with a tough guy, and he come out victorious, and you show me you got a little bit of dog, and you know how to swim. You know what I mean, against the tide, and you still come out on a correct side. I'm not mad at that. With that being said, it didn't work in their favor like that for Big Baby.
I
Jared
thought it did
Anderson.
though. I thought it did though. I thought it
Yeah, go
did though.
ahead. Why so?
And here's the reason being, I feel like Big Baby, there was a huge revelation in that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to this fight and for the past couple months, especially after there was that heart to heart that he had on film with Roy Jones,
Yeah.
and he was talking about the pressure, and a lot of folks were criticizing him about his mindset and his mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw, even though he got stopped,
You
he
got
got
dog.
dropped several times and kept getting up. So it's like, yo, this dude is not this
He not like
heartless.
he not a quitter. I'll say that. He not a
No,
quitter.
he's not. He's not. And I always thought that, especially with the criticism that he faced, the scrutiny that he was under,
Mm-hmm.
that was something that could potentially rear its head in a fight.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, if that's how you feel outside the ring and
You
things
might
start getting a little
phone it
tough,
in.
like,
You
do
phone it
you
in.
break?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
phone it in? Do you break? Do you fold? And he didn't fold.
You know what I would say though? Sometimes taking a loss, or sometimes not looking the best that you could look, it makes you look yourself in the mirror, and it locks you in with get a little bit of added focus. I seen a lot of antics leading up to the fight. He's dancing and doing all of this other goofy shit. Like sometimes when you're him, you gotta look in the mirror and realize, like, yo, I got a gift, I got a talent. Let me hone in on that. We say parallel sports. Kobe came out, rest his soul, as a high school kid, kicking ass all across the nation. He got to the NBA. He didn't even start. He sat behind Eddie Jones. His time came, couple air balls.
Yep.
Most people who's not really that, they would have phoned it in, that'd have broke him. He took that as a challenge and turned it into a Hall of Fame career. 18 years old in the NBA. So it's like big baby Jared Anderson. I hope he takes this loss with a chip on his shoulder and kind of takes it the Tevin Farmer route. And when I say Tevin Farmer route, it kind of looks a little spooky in the beginning, but then you start tapering shit off. And you know what I'm saying? You get on a hot streak. So it's not too late. He real young. What is he, like 24, 25, something like that?
24.
Yeah. So he got plenty of time. He got a kid that he gotta, go home to and really make sure he could take care of moving forward. But he gotta know his purpose and his means of why he's doing this. You know what I
I
mean?
think he's figured it out. And I think he's figured it out. And I think that he learned a lot about himself
Mm.
in this fight. I think he
Yeah.
learned a lot about himself. Bernard Hopkins is another one. If I'm not mistaken, he lost his first professional fight.
Yeah. Yeah. And then look how he turned out. But until he
Hall of
said
Famer.
until he talked about that white
Hall
boy.
of Famer.
That's when shit went left. He went
Yeah.
talking white people talk. But who's next on this
That,
card? Andy.
that damn
Andy.
Joe Smith fight.
What you thought about that Andy Ruiz fight over there, man? With the other baby.
Credit to both of them dudes, man. Andy looked strong early.
Yeah.
Jarrell Miller,
He gassed early though.
he ain't really gassed though. He had a broken hand.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay, okay. Because I'm
Yeah.
looking, I'm like, it wasn't a lot of pop on the show. What he broke his right hand or his jab
Yeah,
hand?
I think it might have been his right. Yeah, it might have been his right.
Okay,
There's a
but
video on Twitter afterwards. His joint looked crazy. It was like all types of contorted.
damn, that's crazy. They got through the 12 rounds, ended up to be a draw, and what I got from this was two dudes fighting for their place in the division. Because there's a lot of, like it or not, the heavyweight division isn't what it once was, but there's a lot of combat going on between the heavyweights at this point in time. And they've kind of been like the names outside of the cusp of action.
Yep.
Big Baby, he kind of went through a lot of, times with, pads and taking a few losses here and there. So this is kind of was like I don't want to say gatekeeper moment, but it's like, these are the outskirt names. And if you want to get back into it, so they both didn't take L's on their resume. It went in as a draw. They lived to fight another day. But what do you see next for these two?
I say a rematch. At the very
That's
least,
not
they
going.
got to
That's
have a rematch with each other.
It's not going to happen because I actually did hear Big Baby. He said they're actually friends. They know each other's kids know one another, and he said to see Andy's kids in there, and he's talking about it. He damn near went into tears. He says, "I don't want to fight anybody that's my friend. I want to, I want to get when I get in there, I want to be able to feel as though I want to execute somebody and it be okay, and not have a problem with thinking in that mentality because he's training differently for a situation like that." He said he don't really want to harm one of his friends.
Mm.
So he doesn't even want to get into that situation where he's in the ring with a friend. He probably needed this fight to really get where he was trying to get to and couldn't decline it. But I don't know. And they had back and forth with the other Big Baby, and he told him, he was just like, man, I don't hate that guy. I gotta say what I gotta say as a competitor, but he's young, and I want to see him get back on the horse. So that was kind of commendable for him to say that as like an older vet in the game, saying that to a younger guy. So I thought that was cool as well. But as far as where I see them going, I wouldn't mind Big Baby versus like Zilly Zhang or something like that.
I say, what's his name? What's my guy's name? The one that got stopped at the Day of Reckoning with the body shots. Makhmudov, because he got to get back in the ring. So put him in there with Andy or Jarrell Miller. Then the other guy that just lost to Dubois, Philip Herkovich, put him in there with one of them guys. Or
What's the
even
dude
Richard Torres if Top Rank is ready for that.
Where is my man? What's my boy name? The dude that be like, oh, I could quit my job. Johnny Rice.
Well, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and think, Al Heyman, I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? I'm about to
but a name. Do you have a name?
Where's Johnny Rice at, man? You know what I'm talking about? You gotta check out Johnny Rice, man. Johnny Rice.
He's a boxer.
Yeah, he's a heavyweight. They always put Johnny Rice in to just be like a guy on the card, and he always upsets some shit. Like always, bro. He always finds his way to beating somebody who he was supposed to be using as a stepping stone.
Or Guido. Maybe F.A. Ajagba, somebody like that.
You know what's crazy? But let's take a step back. The crazy thing about little Big Baby losing, I thought he was going to be the torch to carry the heavyweights for the youth and really kind of like interject some youth into the heavyweight division. And being that he lost, it kind of sets everything back another 5-6 years because they're gonna have to rebuild him again. Because remember,
Does it though?
Who you gonna put him in to go get a title right now?
Well, that's gonna be difficult anyway because Usyk and Fury, they got unfinished business. They got a rematch set up, And then for the IBF, you got AJ and Daniel Dubois. So
Yeah.
might not even have to get him in there right now for a title, but just start putting him in position because, again, he's only 24 years old. If
His
he was a
best
little
bet,
bit older, then be like,
bro. His best bet is to kind of trying to age those guys out, and it should just fall in his lap. Because to rebuild him with them big ass dinosaurs right now, and the way he just got dealt with, it's going to take some time for the mental, the physical, and the attributes to all catch up all together. Remember, he got stopped, so like that takes a mental hurdle on you as well sometimes, just to get
but he
over
was
that.
on his feet. He was on his feet. And here's the other thing.
That shit don't mean nothing. That shit hurt, ain't
I'm not saying that it didn't, but the way he conducted himself after the fight, he didn't
Yeah.
appear to take it as hard as most guys do.
Yeah,
And
I
I
heard
also like the fact that he acknowledged that he was making some of the same mistakes. So he knew what it was immediately. I don't think that's what I think that's part of why he wasn't so distraught. Like you see most guys, they're just despondent after taking the loss.
Yeah, because he did say, his corner was telling him some shit that he didn't take heed to.
Right.
So hopefully they get back in the lab and then something else comes out of it. I want to see the kid put it together the way everybody viewed him to be. I'll say that.
I believe he can. And quite a few of these champions, notably Tyson Fury, spoke very highly of him and the work that he was able to give them in sparring.
Yeah.
With him, I just think it's just a minor tweak. I don't think that it's a big fix with him. I don't think so.
I think he got to get out of his comfort zone and really lock in. But let's go on. The next fight was kind of crazy, and it was Pitbull Cruz versus Rayo. I personally picked Rayo to actually upset Pitbull based on the fact that, like we said last episode, that he had joined up with what's my boy
Robert
name?
Garcia.
Robert Garcia. And we did that live on the fly to find out. I said, damn, that adds another wrinkle to it where he gets the best out of his fighters, and I felt as though Rayo had enough pop to keep Pitbull honest. It was just the aspect of being a boxer along with being a puncher that was going to get him this victory. And it kind of played out in the favor that we spoke about.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I did not expect that from Rayo at all.
Yeah? Oh,
at
shit.
all. No, I did not expect that from Rayo. And the thing that I really didn't expect from him was the poise and the footwork. The poise and the footwork. Because in previous fights, when he was with Jose Benavidez Sr., he didn't move that well. If anything, they were just so focused on throwing hands that it seemed almost like footwork was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And then in that last fight that he had, the rematch with Chris Colbert, his footwork looked a little bit quicker, but he was still doing everything on a straight line. Like he wasn't pivoting off, he wasn't turning, he wasn't moving perpetually, moving laterally, moving side to side. Everything was in a straight line, front to back, back to front. That was it. That's all he was doing. But in this fight, I said, wow, like what a difference one fight makes. And then not only that, but being locked in, I ain't gonna lie to you, that was a very inspiring performance from Rayo.
Yeah. And he looked like he filled in on the 40 as pretty well as well. Like,
he looked sturdy.
He made the weight healthy. He said, he was able to eat a little bit more, and he wasn't aggy making the weight, and he actually got a chance to lift weights while he got to eat as well. So, I always thought, Pitbull was kind of like one-dimensional when it came to certain things. And then if you just neutralize the power, I don't know how much more wrinkles he actually had, And as tight as we talked about his defense, he was getting that head popped up at 5 foot nothing. So Raya was also actually shrinking himself to a level and making himself smaller to catch him. Because we did also say that it's a little difficult to fight somebody shorter than you at times.
Yeah, punching down.
Yeah, but he got to his height where his power didn't like squander by reaching. He was in the pockets. He hit him, popped his head up. I was like, God damn, like he on to something. And the fact that boxing got it right this time around, and they didn't job him for the rematch with Tank, or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, or the bigger fights that could have came. They rewarded a man for his performance in the ring. So I thought that was pretty dope as well.
And I also got to say this too, man. Huge credit to Ryo for the resilience that he's shown in his career.
Yeah,
Because we got to remember the fight before that damn Chris Colbert fight, he got stopped.
Yeah, and he got stopped after hurting Edwin. So it's like, you know, he was kind of on the timeline he usually on, you know, hurt somebody, let's get him out of here. And he turned around and he ended up getting stopped. But he found a way to lock back in, almost like a Barrios, you know. Keep on going with the career, and if you keep your head down and stay in the gym, good things will come, man.
No, for sure. So, you know, to jog back to Big Baby a little bit, I think that Ryo is somebody who serves as proof. You know, the preponderance of evidence of being able to rebound after
this guy in these words, man. Go
being
ahead. Hold on, what that one mean, man?
the preponderance of the quality of the evidence.
Let's put it somewhere here, man. Go ahead. This guy,
you know what I'm saying? Listen, you see, I got my Knicks hat on. I got to give a huge credit to my guy, my favorite color commentary person of all time, Walt Clyde Frazier.
Oh, dishing and swishing.
Dishing and swishing, driving and thriving, draining and painting, bounding and astounding, wheeling and dealing. Yep, hooping and swooping. You know what my favorite thing is like when somebody really got it going and they just unconscious.
Yeah.
He'll say something like, Carmelo Anthony with 16 straight points right now, the only Nick with the knack.
Yeah, that's cool. I like
Clyde is my guy.
The neophyte.
A neophyte.
The neophyte. Like when you say that. That's crazy.
Clyde Frazier is one of the people who's actually encouraged me indirectly to continue to just
vocabulary.
To just build up the vocabulary, because I've always loved Clyde as a Knicks fan. It's not even just being an avid reader. That's part of it. I like people who are able to express themselves, you know, clearly and concisely, and also do it sometimes in a very
entertaining facet.
Entertaining, but also a little bit unorthodox. Because for the most of us, you know, we don't even really think about stuff like that, like how we're presenting ourselves through expression. But in any event, back to Ryo.
Visually, Clyde is
back
crazy
to Ryo.
Now everybody that was a New York minute right there, y'all. That was we apologize. Apologize.
Speaking of Clyde and being out there with the clothing, if you're on IG, you got to make sure you follow Clyde So Fly.
Yeah,
you following that IG page?
No, hell no. Leopard suits and all that other crazy shit from the 70s.
Clyde is that guy, man. Clyde is that guy.
I'm on my New York shit for real, y'all. Got my mellow on. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got the Knicks hat on.
Now let's get back to this. Now let's jump to this
back
main
to Ryo.
Let
me just say this before we go move on.
Go ahead.
Let me just say this one last thing about Ryo. Tremendous job, man. Tremendous job. That guy,
for sure.
Like that's not easy to be rising up through the ranks. You suffer a loss in the fashion that he did.
Yeah.
And then you not only come back, but you come back sharper, you come back stronger, you come back more diligent. Can't say enough about that guy, man. Just so much respect for the way that he's conducted himself, and a huge congratulations on the win. Pitbull, I don't know where he goes from here. Maybe he's a guy that becomes a gatekeeper. Maybe
Damn, you going gatekeeper status already? Shit,
yeah,
man.
man. And here's why. Here's why. I
Damn, that's
think that
great.
Pitbull, and here's why. I think that Pitbull's got the markings of a great gatekeeper. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with being a great gatekeeper. I
Yeah.
always refer to the gatekeeper as the litmus test, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these dudes are at a level where if you don't have the requisite skills or attributes, you're not going to beat them.
Yeah.
You got to
Okay.
be of a certain level, of a certain ilk. It's like these dudes, you know, the motherfuckers that wear the tall hats in front of Buckingham Palace out there in
Yeah.
England.
Yeah,
Like
the stiff faced guys. Yeah. They
them
don't
dudes,
they don't
those are the
smile.
gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Those are the gatekeepers. If you don't have the requisite authority,
You ain't going past them. Yeah, you're
you
right.
ain't get in here.
You're right.
And
You're
that's
right.
Pitbull, in my opinion. So it's like I feel like he's at that middle ground. He's that
Mm.
middle ground because he's not gonna lose to nobody he's not supposed to lose to.
Okay, all right. So that makes a little bit more sense if you put it in that manner. You know, I totally get that part. I totally get that part. But moving forward, right? Bud Crawford, man, what you got for me?
Hall of Famer. The dude did it again, yo. He was sensational in my opinion.
I believe this shit was a hell of a performance by Bud, man, because like, you know, what's his name, Majimov?
Oh yeah.
He was tough. He wasn't an easy out. He fought like hell. He was very unorthodox. And you know, as much as he didn't throw, as much as his movement did, it kind of neutralized Bud for a long period of time until Bud kind of figured it out. But
Yep.
every time Bud felt as though he could go on the offense, Majimov made him think about something, whether it be one or two. He really wasn't putting things together in a manner where it was like continuous, but he was touching Terence with some shit. And this is the first time I really seen it. I don't know if you want to attribute that to age or just the going up, getting a bigger puncher. I don't know what you want to give it to, but he made Terence think out there, you know? And I personally had it either or way going into the 10th. And I think Terence kind of heard from the corner, like, yo, let's go. And I think he separated himself really in that 11th and the 12th by really putting his foot on the gas and edging out that win. What you thought?
I didn't have it that close though. I didn't have it that
No?
close. And nah, and the reason being is because I just felt like Madrimov, I feel like he played it a little bit too safe, but understandably so.
Yeah.
Understandably so.
I think Terence had the hand speed and he had the power advantage, but it was actually confusing Terence to the point where he stands in front of him maybe, because he wasn't going to catch up to him and really like be the aggressor and ring off combinations and all that with Bud, because Bud is really like, he's one of them.
A great counterpuncher.
Yeah,
A great counterpuncher. And it really showed, man, because Madrimov, he would throw a single right hand, but
yeah,
outside of that, he, like you said, he wasn't stringing anything together. Not even
yeah.
2 and 3 punches at a time. And I've seen in other fights where he was letting his hands go. So that to me, it showed the respect that he had for Terence Crawford and his abilities. The fact that he didn't just let his hands go like that, and he ain't just try to press him, just thinking that he was going to be the smaller man. And I'll say this too. I think that Bud actually answered some questions, if you're being unbiased, about his durability and how sturdy he is.
Because he
Because
took
the
some
one
shit.
strike against, yeah,
He
the
took
one
some
strike
shit.
against him was, well, he got rocked by Gamboa at 135, and if little Gamboa could do that to him, but at 154, he looked sturdy as hell. Like he was eating them right hands. There were a couple of times where he got touched with the right hand, and he was boom, right back on Matrimony.
He took a few steps back a couple times too, where he like, oh shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But
But he was right back on him.
yeah, he didn't look hurt though. Like sometimes you get hit with some shit like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? But you're like, you still got all your faculties together and all that. So when he started putting his hands together, I said, all right, you know what? He knows the importance of these rounds right here. And he took care of business. I wasn't mad at the outcome. I wasn't mad at the scorecards. Shawn Porter was kind of pissing me off throughout the whole call, but it's like, I get it sometimes, whoever pay you got to talk a certain way at this point in time. You can't be non-biased. It is what it is, but I think, Bud pulled it off. And I don't know. The only thing I would say is the whole Canelo thing. I think that might be a little bit more too much for him to chew right now, to bite off.
Hey, that's up to him, man. That's up to him. That's why I always say, listen, if that's what he wants, if that's what he truly wants, and they can find a way to make the financial aspect make sense, then
but that would be at what, 64? 68?
Probably at 68.
See, the thing is, all right, let's go Canelo, right? Canelo, Charlo, Berlanga, and then Crawford. Would Canelo be getting credit for that? Realistically.
At this point, I don't even think it matters for Canelo. I believe that he's already cemented.
But that would be more of a favor for Bud, because the Canelo detractors be like, oh, you pulling up another guy that's small or not it, and
Yeah, but the Canelo supporters are so loud that he may not even hear the detractors.
Yeah, I guess.
Canelo's got a hell of a fan base, man. They don't play about that boy Saul.
I get it.
They support him, man. They support him. And here's the other thing too. If you really want to be technical, a lot of the guys that he's fought in recent times, it's not that they were undeserving. They just weren't the fights that we wanted to see.
Everybody wanted, yeah.
As boxing fans. It's like Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia, he was the number one contender, if I'm not mistaken, in the WBA.
Well, how much fights he had? Didn't he have 50 fights?
He had like 42 or something like that. 40
fights. So it's like, that's one of the cases like, oh shit, like, put him in there with somebody we care about where it makes sense.
Right, but he was the contender. He was number one contender. As was David Benavidez. So on one hand, you be like, damn, like he's dugging David Benavidez. He's gonna fight Jaime Munguia, but Jaime Munguia is also a number one contender.
That makes sense as well.
And then that dude also has his own aspirations. That's the way I look at it too, man. From that regard, like, yo,
who has his own? Who, as far as who? Bud or Canelo?
Jaime Munguia. I'm talking about the opponents. Jaime Munguia, John Ryder, and all these other guys. Like, yo, you don't think these guys have dreamt their whole lives of being a champion
and to get paid?
Yeah. Be on a huge pay-per-view event with your name on the marquee and all that. Like, these guys want to, these guys got dreams of their own. So I don't knock the fights because of that. Because I'm like,
I never look at it like that though. And so you know, you 1,000% right. Because we always think about the matchmaking and if it makes sense, but it's like, who are you to tell me that I shouldn't believe in myself, that I can't attribute this when I've been doing this since I was 10, 11, 12 years old?
Right.
So you're 100% right.
And that's where Berlanga is right now, where it's like, yo, I'm 21-0, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Yeah. Now, whether or not we believe that he's ready.
No, forget we. Do you believe that he's ready?
Do I believe that he's ready? I think that Canelo is exceptional. I think that Berlanga is good, but I believe that Canelo is exceptional, regardless of how we feel.
No. So you tap dancing right now. You giving me the political...
No. I'm being 100% honest. I'm saying regardless of how we feel about Canelo, and in recent times, that dude is exceptional. When it's all said, he could retire right now. He's going into the Hall of Fame. He's going up there to Canastota, New York. That's where the Boxing Hall of Fame is.
Okay.
He's going in there. like off top. Like he's been undisputed at 168. I think he's been a champion at 160, 154. It's like, what are we talking about? And then this dude he's like 60-2 or something like that.
But my question is Edgar ready for this scenario?
He might be. I don't know how well prepared he is. I don't know how well prepared he is.
Casuals Corner need to return for this breakdown because I seen a couple clips, and some of the things that Berlanga gets ate by, Canelo is great at.
No, for sure. You know, there's that one clip that's circulating where he got hit with that damn uppercut. We know.
Yeah, the uppercut and the left hook.
Canelo might break his jaw if he catch him clean with that.
Yeah.
So again, it's like I think that Berlanga, he might be ready. He might be ready, but I don't know how prepared he's gonna be.
Okay.
That's where shit get tricky because you could be ready, but like how prepared are you? And then not only that, but also after being prepared is how well can you execute when there might be a small little hiccup. You know what I mean? You get hit with a left hook, you get hit with an uppercut. Now all of a sudden, do you deviate from the game plan? Or do you carry out the mission? You know what I mean?
I keep it real with you, man. Barring injury, I got that kid probably going to sleep in like 6. Realistically, but you know, we'll see.
I felt the same way. I feel the same way, but that's it's like if you get the opportunity, not just for the money, but like, yo, if like let's say if he did, hypothetically, let's say this dude managed to beat Canelo.
Oh, life changes.
Could you imagine what his life is like after that?
Life changes, man. You're gonna see Terror Squad chains all through Brooklyn. That's where you from, right? Brooklyn. Shit's gonna get crazy. Before we go too far, right? I want to discuss what you felt about the job that Turkey's doing as far as promotion, as far as putting these cars together, and could he leave a impact in the U.S. market?
Yes, he can. With the right events, he could definitely leave an indelible imprint over here, you know, stateside.
You know, the
that last card on Saturday was a huge step, man, in the right direction.
I think it was perfect. They ended up saying that he did take a loss, like a $10 million loss or whatever the case might be. But I believe that's stepping stones in anybody who's new in a new market, who's trying to learn something. So I'm not gonna kill him for that. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't know. You have to know what's the best market to put the best fights and the best names work in which region of the country. All of that shit matters. The only thing I don't like is some of the things that's coming out of, you know, we're not looking for the Canelo fight anymore. We've moved on. Like, speaking like that sounds like some of the issues that we currently have with some of the promoters now. You know, not finding a way to give the fights that we want, you know, based on, you know, egos or whatever the case is. But don't head into the same direction of some of the problems that we already had in the sport. Because now you add into the belt holders, the sanctioning bodies, the promotion companies, the damn networks that is on. Now you want to add emotions into it. That shit, I mean, we trying to get the best of the best situations to take place.
Trying to remove the roadblocks and the speed bumps.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Just give us highways, straight highways to the right fight. He got the money. He's the highway. Like, you know, find a bridge and gap where this works, or a tournament style, or, you know, something to the fact where the fans don't lose out on what we want.
While we on the subject of the events, let me ask you this question, because Paulie, shout out to Paulie Malignaggi. Oh, I just butchered his name. The Magic Man. The Magic Man.
Paulie got energy, boy, but go ahead.
He said something I thought was interesting. He said that he likes the cards, but he feels like maybe they should be split up into 2 parts.
2 days? That'd be fire.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? It works because even I don't know if you're big on wrestling, but WWF and WWE or whatever you want to call it now, they do 2-day events, Saturday and Sundays. where they stack the cards and take out the whole weekend. So WrestleMania is 2 days now. Royal Rumble is 2 days. Survivor Series is 2 days now. And growing up, it was always on a Sunday, 1 day. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So it makes sense that where that works, where there's no lulls in action. And say you want to give the entertainment, but the entertainment don't gotta be a damn near 1 a.m. You know what I'm saying? East Coast time. And it lends the audience to be engaged the whole time without having a super long card, So that does make sense. I like that idea a lot.
That's what Paulie was talking about, because he was saying, like, as a boxing enthusiast is great, but if you're a casual fan and this event is taking like 8 hours, and then you got Eminem rapping and all this other shit, it's like, bro, I'm ready to get back to the action. Like, yo, what are we doing here?
I want to go to the club after this still too,
Right.
But yeah, that makes sense. But
Like,
I like what
Turkey's
Turkey's doing. I like what he's doing in the sport, and I think they should give him an opportunity. That's what I should say. They should give him an opportunity, sit down with him, and really see what he has going on, and if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense for the biggest of the biggest guys, in between the time leading up to the biggest fights, he's perfect for the sport. Because he almost gave you like a pro box feel as far as matchmaking.
Definitely.
No landslide, no showcase fights for all your youngest guys to be beating up a bunch of guys they should be beating. It was enough fights where it's like, damn, it's a pick 'em. And it lended that because there was 2 upsets and a draw on the same card. So that's not bad at all. That's not bad pickings.
And in the main event, a fight that some people felt like could have been a draw. Some people felt that.
That too. So now, the landscape of this whole boxing shit is kind of changing, right? We spent a lot of time on boxing today, but 135 is top heavy. 140, it's a lot of names there. 147 is kind of the entry point for a lot of the youth now, because a lot of the 47 and big names have moved up. And 54 look like dangerous grounds right now. With that being said, 147 was always seen as the glamour division, the division that carried the sport when it came to money for maybe like the last 20 to 25 years. What's the next division that you say would be the new money division moving forward? Damn,
it would have to be between 140 and 154, just because of how things are right now. Like, when you think of where 154 is, where you had the guys who were at 147, but now they're moving to 154.
Yeah.
But then you also still got some of the young guys that are at 154, like Virgil Ortiz, Tim Tszyu, Sebastian Fundora. You still got Lubin. Then you got, what's his name? He's coming back soon. Jamel Charlo.
Tim Tszyu.
And you got Terence Crawford. We just saw that Madrimov is somebody who I think he's going to be a staple at 154.
Yeah, wherever Brian Castano is, come back, sir. There's room for you too.
He's another one.
We said Tim Tszyu.
Yeah, we said Tim Tszyu, and then we still got even some of the vets like Tony Harrison.
Yeah, so, no, I think Tony might be done. I think
possibly.
He might be done, but if not, he could be gatekeeper status, and
what's my other guy's name? I almost forgot about him. The one that Lubin fought, the young Mexican dude, Jesus Ramos. We still got Ramos. Yeah. We got Ramos at 154. So it's like
it's some bump down there.
It's stacked right now.
And to be honest with you, if Boots really wanted to say fuck it, he could come up too.
He can go up. Cody Crowley is another dude. When you look at him, he's sturdy enough. He can go up to 154.
Speedy could play up there.
Yep.
Rashidi. It's a lot of. I think 154 would be the landing spot for a lot of bump. those names aren't like names where it's gonna be like, you know, what 147 was years ago, because I guess
Yeah.
they don't have like the Hall of Fame trajectory in those weight classes currently. We didn't even say Spence if he ever makes it up there. But I think that division is the next division that kind of carries the sport to its you know, pinnacle as far as you know, big fights, big names, and high purses, if anything.
Oh yeah. And then you got some of the dark horses like Boachuk, the dude
Mm.
that Virgil Ortiz is about to fight. That dude can scrap.
It's nowhere to hide in a division. That's the thing.
Nope.
'Cause
Same
we
with
just
140.
we just rang off like fuck like 10,
That was at
12
least
names.
10 names. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like,
yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, 140 is like that too because you know, I haven't everybody who's supposed to be the biggest of the biggest punches down there at 40 kind of lost. And the synergy is like the boxer versus the puncher. Does the boxer stay away from the puncher? But all it happened to be all the fucking punches done lost. Who we
yep.
had? Gary took a L.
Matias.
Subriel took a L. Who else? Who else lost? Pitbull just
Pitbull.
lost. Yeah. What's the name about to come back? What's my boy name? Rolly about to come back. You got Big Watch Barroso. You got a bunch of people down there that could punch as well. Riches and Hitches is down there. Devin's still down there. I don't know where
The dude
Ryan
that
went.
Hitchens beat last. He could scrap too. Gustavo Lemos.
Lemos, yeah, he's there. Edwin, I don't know if Edwin falls into 140 or not. You
I
also
believe so.
have
I think he might have moved up because he remember before Pitbull got the fight,
he's
it was
supposed to
supposed to
fight,
be a
yeah.
rematch.
Yeah, you also have shit. We got what you call it there. We got Ryo there now. I don't know where Brandon Lee been at, but he was at 140. There's some names up there, man. Hitchens is up there. God
Tiafimo.
damn.
You ain't say Tiafimo.
Shit,
He's
we
a
ain't even
champion
say
at 140.
Jermaine Ortiz is still over there.
Main
It's a
Ortiz.
it's a plethora of names, man. That you could go down that list, and they all young. They all young, so it's like it's bumped to be bumping if they really want to get it on.
The current champ too at 140. What's my guy's name? Alberto
Puello,
Puello.
Puello
He's
is
there too.
there. Barbosa is there. We didn't even say damn, what's my boy name? It'll come to me. But there's so many names down there, man. Oh, I'm talking about Ali, Michelle.
Oh yeah. Rivera. He moved up to 140 as well.
The way Frank looked in the weigh-in, he might be on his way up there as well. I wouldn't put that past him, you
Yeah,
know.
he need to move up.
Yeah, so 140. I think out of all of those divisions, 135 is kind of it's going to dry up when you kind of get the Tanks versus the Shakurs, and then that situation kind of figures itself out. And I think it'll be time for all of those guys to move up. The only thing is that I think Tank is really a career 35, so going up to 40 would be challenging with all of those names that we already just said. To add him into the mix along with Shakur talent as far as boxing ability. 140 might be a good rival to 154, low key, that we just rang it off.
That's why I said it's between those two for
Yeah,
me.
you know what?
It's
You're right
between those
about
two.
that.
You can't go wrong with either one. That's a toss up.
Yeah.
That's a toss up.
Fuck it. Speaking about Tank, what do you think? Like, some of the names have fallen off the board. You know, that Pitbull rematch, that fell off the table real quick. That died in the ring. The Ryo situation, I don't know if it makes sense for Ryo to go back
Nah, it
down,
don't make sense for Ryo.
you know, because
It
he
don't make sense
accomplished
for
something big. He looked real good at the weight. And it's like it'll look like a reach for him going down there to go play with him. So I
Yeah.
think that's off the table. Shakur doesn't seem like Tank is next. Loma went into hiding, but not into hiding because he was definitely at the fight. But I thought he was home with his family, so that didn't make sense. What's left? There's not much left for Tank for as far as
Give him Dennis Baranchik. Give him him.
the people will burn down Baltimore if they announce that shit right there.
Hey, make it happen. Make it happen. And if anybody has any malice or,
Disdain.
Yeah, just
he's a
we
champion.
Gotta point to that. Exactly. And that's what people have been stressing. Yeah. Tank detractors say this guy's he's not facing champions and so on and so forth. Dennis Baranchik is a champion. Let my guy Tank unify, and then boom.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense. I'd rather see it early than late on what's going on as far as him fighting for the legacy that he said. I think that's just what's missing off this career right now is just legacy defining moments and grabbing a belt somewhere up there and a couple of belts or unifying or whatever he feels like doing. I'm all right with. Once he's still consistently active, I think I find out to be more important than anything at this point in time because he's not getting any younger. So sitting on the sideline waiting for the right guy, it doesn't work as far as ring rust, age, and if you really want to retire, it's easier to retire young and rich than older and beat up. So I would say get that out the way, man.
We always see what ends up happening with them older guys. It's a damn shame. They got to sell off their memorabilia, autographed gloves and trunks, robes and shit like that.
Come on, let me sign your baseball hat, boy.
Right. So it's like, get your money, get the hell out of here, and go live your life.
Go live that shit out, man. So let's get on to our next topic, man. The Olympics. We looking real good this year, and where we kind of were questioning, has the world caught up to U.S. sports? And we've been looking damn good. I think right now we leading in total medals awarded to us, and I think we lead in gold currently.
Gold and overall medals, and
overall and gold. Like I think
it's astounding.
It's dope to see that because we've always been seen as the top of the heap type of athletes, but then the world started catching up to us, and I think we took a little bit more pride. Yeah, we took a little bit more pride in our approach this time around in the Olympics, and like my man Jay says, we were intentional about coming home with some of these goals. To the point where now U.S. is 2 games away as far as basketball, bringing home another gold medal. The biggest threat that I seen personally as an issue was Canada, and they happened to lose.
That was surprising to me because Canada got a hell of a squad, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of professionals on that team, and for them to take an L, it made me feel a little bit more comfortable with what's going on right there, right now. And barring injuries, knock on wood, I think we could take this home, man, for what's left.
Yeah. That Canada team losing is surprised as hell to me, though.
Yeah, and they lost
Dylan Brooks, R.J. Barrett. They got SGA, Jamal Murray, Kelly Olynyk. It's just like,
it
just goes on and on and on. I'm like, damn. And who they lose to? Serbia?
No, they lost to France.
Oh, they lost to France.
Yeah, your man, what's the name went crazy. Fournier went crazy. Then he was like, yo, show the Knicks that I still got it. Y'all got rid of me.
Fournier always going crazy. Fournier's low-key a microwave.
You know what was crazy about
Season 4 last Tibbs pissed me off, man, in the postseason when he didn't play him.
Yeah. You know what's crazy, though? He always shows up big in Olympic moments because that's kind of how he got his last big contract, because he showed up big in the Olympics. I just think these guys, when they go play for their country, they play with a whole different type of pride. Like, there's no politics involved. They playing for the love of the game. And their countrymen believe in them, carrying them to the next level, and they always happen to play outside of their body, and it be against some of the best NBA players. So it's like,
Right.
why don't you see this during the season? And it's more or less politics gets in the way of a lot of professional sports, and I don't like it, but you can see the difference when it comes, especially Olympic play.
Opportunity, 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 man. And I think that sometimes these coaches, I understand that they have a vision
Yeah,
for the way that they see the team being ran, but sometimes they kind of got to step out the way a little bit just to allow for something innovative, something fresh. Like, for example, I don't want to go too far from the Olympic conversation, but with Fournier, for example, like this dude, he is a career bucket, like low key. Like you look at his career numbers, like that dude, especially when he was in Denver and Orlando,
yeah.
he's a bucket. Now Tibbs, he's such a defense first guy that he's unwilling to make that trade off, and it's like Fournier, he's not a great defender, but
No,
with his
but
ability to just
that
be a
ball,
microwave, Finney Johnson style. Like this is
that
one of them
ball in
dudes
that.
that could just get hot and just
Yeah.
he's. I think he's one of them Jamal Crawford type dudes, Lou Williams type dudes, where you could
Decent
just
ball
plug
handler.
him into the game,
Yeah,
and then next thing you know, you look up, this dude got 20 off the bench.
yeah, yeah. What's crazy with him is you wouldn't even think that he could find himself a bucket. He's not just a catch and shoot guy. He know how to put the ball on the floor, make separation.
Right.
He know how to do a lot of shit. Was going to get him a bucket by creating a shot as well, because that's a key that people don't know. Being set up and running off picks, cool, but when somebody cuts off that, that third option, the second option to dribble, and you know how to pity pat and find yourself a bucket, that's being a craftsman right there, man.
Fournier is a bucket. So, man, shout out to France for getting it done. Team USA, I still believe that they're going to win the gold. They
Yeah, I
seem
agree.
to be getting a little bit better and better with their continuity as the games go on, because early on, like I had talked about in the previous episode,
Yeah.
it felt like they just didn't have any type of continuity on the offensive end. It seemed like the ball was sticking, and thank God that KD got hot, because KD was killing against, who was that, South Sudan?
Yeah, you know what I would say though? I would say to my boy, um, what's my boy's name? Coach Kerr. Don't fuck this one up, Kerr. Please. Don't be the one that messes up with chemistry. And you feel as though, I'm gonna outcoach everybody else and I'm gonna sit this person, because the players already know who they are, where they gonna be, who's the alpha, who's the shooter, who's the guy that they go through on the offensive end, who's the defensive anchor. All of this stuff is already solidified without it even being said. So you're just the person to manage minutes. Overcoaching is not necessary in this case. So please, just don't fuck it up, man. The JBT is back. New raffles, new prizes. This time, we're coming with you with a 10-inch, 10th generation iPad. Comes in multiple colors, amazing technology, and guess what? Everything that you have in the palm of your hands for full-fledged entertainment. Now, how do you win this prize? Again, just $10. $10 to give you a chance to win this great prize. We even got a special for you. We're even offering a special of 3 entries for only $25. All you have to do is send your money to JBT Network 1 via Cash App. With that being said, good luck. You got to be in it to win it. Before we get out of here, we lost Ant, technical difficulties, but doesn't start the part of the show that we love. Respectfully, I'm just saying. So this part, we highlight somebody who we feel as though doesn't get the credit that they once should have received. And I'm going to highlight my man Penny Hardaway. I feel Penny Hardaway had a career that definitely should have been Hall of Fame, or it was on a trajectory to be a Hall of Famer, where him and Shaq made Orlando fun. You know, you want to say the next thing to Magic Johnson: athleticism, vision, scoring ability, tall point guard, 6'7", 6'8". He could shoot. He was fast. And he had every nuance it took to be a winner. Unfortunately, him and Shaq separated when it came to Young Egos. He did come down with the microfracture in his knee, and he's never been the same. But those that know during that era, there was nothing hotter or nobody bigger than Penny Hardaway at that time. From the commercials, from the sneakers, the All-Stars appearances, the jersey sales, Penny Hardaway was really one of those guys. And he should also be highlighted as, you know, a pivotal stepping stone that created a fun aspect of the NBA while he was, you know, in his heyday. So let's not, you know, kick the bucket when it comes to Penny. I'm still hoping that they give him a nod in order to make, you know, the Hall of Fame. And if not, over here, we give him more of the credit. With that being said, that's all we got this week. And hope you join us again. We know we lost you, but I got you, my dog. I'm your boy Reemo, aka Mr. Rich Threads. That's Aunt McQueen of the Casuals Corner. My co-host, the computers, Mr. Breakdown Shorty himself. And until next week, I'm out of here. Peace.